This magical girl 2280. Emma Burke. See, this one of the things about small towns, small town frame of mind, small town people. I'm allowed to tell on my predators. That includes any and all mandated reporters who don't do their jobs. I'm allowed to tell the truth, regardless of who it is that was involved. Emma Burke does not like my First Amendment rights, and she certainly does not like me exercising my rights as a disabled homeless man. Because regardless of the fact that I'm disabled, and homeless, and a man, I still have the right to the First Amendment. Would people rather I exercise the Second Amendment? I've shown pretty loud and fucking proud that I am capable of getting my hands on firearms. I live in the United States, for Christ's sake. I choose not to. Fucking Christ. Why is it that I've never been busted with meth? Because I don't do meth. Why is it that I've never been busted with cocaine? Because I don't do cocaine. I literally have 0 drug arrests or convictions on my record. Woohoo! So we'll get to Emma and why she's important in a minute. First, I should start off with telling you who she is the offspring of. Alright, so I just moved to Nebraska. There's this woman, as always, my older brother wanted to bang. I was sleeping on the floor and somebody was stepping over me and in the sweetest voice saying, "Oh, I'm sorry." And I look up and there's bright orange bell bottoms. If you can imagine that. Bright orange plaid bell bottoms. That's what your mom was wearing, Emma. Anyway, we didn't call her Veronica, we called her Missy. This was in Chapel, Nebraska, at my mother's old house at 890 1st Street. No, my mom doesn't live there anymore. So Veronica Seward, later on, she didn't like my brother. No, she liked jerks. Now, Sid Burke was not a complete and total jerk. He was a guitar player. Missy ended up pregnant. And of course, her and all the girls had a girls' meeting about who's going to raise the kid. Who's going to raise the kid. Because everybody wanted Sid out of the picture. Sid Burke. One night, your mom accused him of cheating on her, threw a big old tantrum, went out there and squatted on his car and took a piss right on it. Well, Sid was done with her after that. Her and 3 other girls, they thought it was the funniest damn thing. Anyway, let's get back to the story with your mom. On June 26th through 28th, there was a woman in Chapel, Nebraska who ran a youth group. Her name was Brenda Dickinson. Emma, you know Brenda. The last time I saw you, I was with Brenda. At your dad's house in North Platte. You might remember, but probably don't. It was right around Halloween one year. Anyway, Brenda Dickinson was also our pot salesman. She sold us pot. Me, Missy, my older brother Eric, and of course, people like Randy Ingersoll. Later on, she started working for Sandhills Crisis Intervention Program. While she was working with Sandhills Crisis Intervention Program, I was talking to Brenda, trying to get help, because I was being stalked by a bunch of drug addicts, and I couldn't see my friends and family. Could you imagine that, Emma? Not getting to see your friends and family? Brenda Dickinson was all messed up on pills because she got rheumatoid arthritis. She couldn't think straight, couldn't talk straight, couldn't nothing. Region 1 wasn't helping me. Tamara had quit her job because she didn't want her son being treated the way that I'm treated. You do know how autistic men are treated in this country, don't you? How often we're killed by the cops? How much more likely we are to be killed by the cops than other people? More than black people? More than Asian people? More than your average Joe? By a lot. We're victimized until we have post-traumatic stress disorder from being victimized. Kind of like, those girls who cut themselves. They don't cut themselves because of the abuse. They cut themselves because when they went to someone for help, that person didn't listen. Girls cut themselves at 5 times the rate of boys for a reason. Girls are more likely to get hurt. Boys realize that there is no chance, and they off themselves frequently. When it comes to protecting ourselves and our loved ones, it takes a lot of work. Now, the reason that Emma's important is because on June 28th of 2017, when I got a hold of Missy at the request of Brenda Dickinson, she said, "Hey, Brenda Dickinson works for Region 2. She can help you." Well, I tried getting a hold of Missy, she typed with me a little bit, but she finally did call. She finally set the time aside to call me. But it just so happened on the night that she called me, she was so drunk she couldn't shut up. She couldn't stop to listen to what was going on. I was trying to explain to her about the situation with Tamara and about how we were trying to get me disability. That way someone would have to do something about the abuse. But I didn't get very far because Veronica was drunk and slurring her speech. Veronica Bruce, a.k.a. Veronica Seward, a.k.a. Missy Bruce, a.k.a. Missy Seward, a.k.a. Emma's mom. Anyway, Veronica Seward was drunk and mean, and I didn't have a difficult request. I asked that she not talk to me until she's sober. And she threw the biggest tantrum at me. She treated me completely like trash. Your mother is the most loving what? Saying that your mother's not a drunk. Well, whether she was a drunk or not, she was drunk that night. And she was very mean. And all I can think about to this day when I think about your mother is that I should have just offed myself rather than go to her for help, rather than believe that she was going to do anything other than talk over me. Because, see, here's the thing. People don't make the time for me when they're sober. I couldn't see any of my loved ones. I had no support network. And the people who claimed to be my friends threw me away like trash. How do you think that feels? I shouldn't have said anything about her being drunk, huh? It's my fault that she threw a tantrum about me being honest, isn't it? It's my fault, isn't it, Emma? I was one of many people who busted their ass to help take care of your mom while she was pregnant with you. I was one of many people who were very supportive with your mother when she decided that she was done with Sid Burke. But he ain't some evil SOB who didn't want to be a daddy. Not by a long shot. Your mom is insecure as fuck, and she's mean to people. The more insecure she gets, the meaner she gets. How dare I say anything about her drinking that night? How dare I, right? So let's fast forward. After Natalie was killed, your mom hadn't done nothing. She hadn't found out anything that was going on because she was too busy yelling at me for saying something about her drinking. How dare I say to a drug addict that they're a drug addict? How dare I say to a alcoholic that they're an alcoholic? And how dare I say to someone who is drunk, temporary or not, that they're not thinking straight because they're drunk? How dare I? How dare I? Region 2, North Platte, I went to more than once because of ongoing abuse. The same abuse that started in 2016, that I went to Brenda Dickinson about help stopping in 2016, that I went to Veronica Seward, because she was married by then, in 2017. You know, it's not like I didn't go to anybody. It's that I don't get to choose what substances people are on or how much they're willing to listen. So when I got a hold of Veronica Bruce to let her know what was going on, that I still needed help, she just wanted to, oh, it was just one beer. Oh, it was just one wine cooler. Oh, it was just one this, it was one that. You know what? Whether it was 1 or 100, it was enough to get her drunk. If she doesn't drink very often, well, it makes sense why it got her as drunk as it did if it was just one. And she was painting a room at the time, I remember that. She was painting a room and drinking and painting. So, after Natalie was killed, and I was in the Region 2 area, and I had to get a hold of your mom and her boss to try to get help with that still continuing ongoing abuse. That was 2021. How many years had your mom looked the other way? Then she wanted to get angry with me and yell at me. And, of course, she wanted to threaten me with the police. So at that point, I was done with her. If you're going to play victim because I told the truth, I am finished with you. You don't get a free pass just because you're a woman. You don't get a free pass just because you're nice. I'm going to tell the truth, whether you were the devil or Jesus Christ himself. You can hide behind your religion, but the truth is still the truth. You can hide behind your children, but the truth is still the truth. You can hide behind your husband, but the truth is still the truth. Veronica Bruce had a chance to do the right thing. She had a chance to do the moral thing. She had a chance to do her job as a mandated reporter. She had the chance to be an actual friend. And what did she choose? The fact is that I do have the right to speak up about any service that does me wrong. And any peoples involved, I do have the right to speak publicly about. Veronica Seward worked for a service called Region 2 Nebraska, one of these mental health places that we're sent to when we need help and we're being abused. Well, how well did that work? It didn't work out. Not at all. The only person who was on page and on board was, well, Miss Tamara at Region 1, because her son was autistic, so she understood. She also quit her job because she didn't want her son to be treated the way that I was treated. And mind you, this is before Natalie was killed that Tamara quit her job. That's how bad it was. So then, after Veronica sends me this message about how she's going to contact the police, go ahead. Then she wanted to retract it and have her husband call me up. And I like Richard. I don't know him all that well, but I like him. I love Missy because I know who she is. I've known her for years. I also know how afraid she is of consequences. And what a scared little runny babbit she becomes. And how when she rages, it is actual rage. She'll scream and she'll shout. She'll even hit you and throw stuff at you. Now maybe she's toned it down in her old age. Maybe. I don't know. But I know that in her youth there was only two settings. Missy who hides in the corner, and Missy who hates you. When I was talking on the phone with Richard and I was trying to explain it to him, you could hear Veronica in the background screaming, "Take it down now. And why would you do this to me? Why would I tell the truth? Because people are harming me and have been harming me. And every single person that I went to for help had some excuse. And for most of them, it was drugs or alcohol related. For Richard to get a hold of me and harass me at all, after Missy threatened me with the police, is entirely inappropriate. For Emma to get a hold of me and be harassing me for telling the truth is highly inappropriate. I'd have much rather taken this out in court. But I'm an autistic homeless male. I don't have that right. I have to have a friend or family member who cares, which is why I went to Veronica Randall all the way back in 2017 about the abuse I was enduring. That's the reason that I went to Laura Nelson about the abuse all the way back in 2016. It's the reason that I went to Brenda Dickinson for help all the way back in 2016. It's the reason that I went to Tamara from Region 1 all the way back in 2016 and 2017. It's the reason that I went to Nicole Peralta in 2016 and 2017. It's the reason that I went to see Jeff Ritter and Kara Heller. It's not that I didn't try, Emma. It's that nobody fucking cared, not even your goddamn mom. Your mom can be as pissed off as she wants that I told the truth. She can be as pissed off as she wants. You want to make your own channel and Sean bash for the rest of your life, you go right on ahead. But the fact is, this is my YouTube channel. This is where I get to speak. This is where I get to show the truth. No matter how much you want to look the other way. No matter how much your mom wants to hide in the corner. If your mom cared about me, she would have been pissed off. She would have been angry, Missy, and she would have fought for my rights, tooth and nail. What did she do instead? Oh, Sean, I can't do the right thing. I might lose my job if I do my job. Really? Doing your job as a mandated reporter is not that difficult. Brenda Dickinson should have done so a long time ago. Veronica Bruce should have done so a long time ago. Jerry Sparks should have done so a long time ago. On the bright side, I'm a better human being than you are. I'm a better human being than your mother is. I'm a better human being than your father is. Because while they hide like rats, or threaten me with the police and then harass me, and have other people harass me for them, ain't none of that shut me up yet. Natalie Bollinger was pissed off I told the truth. Look what she did. Look at how many people got involved. Loyalty above all else except honor. That's why I'm not loyal to your mom. She has no honor.